Hi there, YouTube. How are you today? I am having a wonderful day here in Toronto. Decided to go for a long walk up to a place called Casaloma. And that's Casaloma behind me there. I believe that's Latin for some castle. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm having a nice day today. The sun popped out about an hour ago, so I thought I'm going to go make use of this sunlight and my legs and go for a nice long walk. And this is actually one of my favorite places to walk to. I haven't been here since New Year's Day when I went for a long walk, and I vowed that I would come back on the next really nice sunny day that I had a day off. So here I am. So I hope you enjoy the view behind me. I thought that today I would talk a little bit about the kinds of food that I ate while going on the ketogenic diet, and I will list a bunch of stuff here that is very helpful in losing weight. I want to start off with my friend the avocado. This has been a game changer for me. That food has really helped me get the right amount of fat in my diet that I could continue on with the ketogenic diet, and it's very filling. So, I would often have that kind of thing maybe for lunch. I would obviously be skipping breakfast a lot of time, on the days where I wasn't fasting, but I'll leave that for another video, the whole fasting aspect. But yeah, I want to talk about just the food that I ate while dieting. Avocado, definitely a must. I ate a lot of eggs. Didn't matter if they were hard boiled, if they were fried. I would definitely fry them in something healthy like an olive oil or even an avocado oil for that matter. And I would often enrich them with some nutritional yeast that you can get in the grocery store. And I think Dr. Eric Berg has his own brand of nutritional yeast that I should look into getting some of that myself. So I might do that. As for dinner would go, I would eat a lot of salad. Um, my main choice would be kale and spinach. I found that packed the best punch for nutrients. But it would often be a salad every day, and consisting of cucumbers and tomatoes, avocado, of course. I like to throw in onion and garlic. I also like to use turmeric. Um, Maybe not on the salad, but one thing I would do with the turmeric is I would put it in a bone broth and make like a bone broth latte. Very tasty, very tasty. Oh my gosh, makes me want to have one right now. Um, so for bone broth, I would often get my own beef bones and cook them in a pressure cooker or a slow cooker rather for a good couple of days, and then use that. Sometimes I would use the powder, but if you're new to bone broth, I would suggest looking into it more. And it's a really helpful tool to stave off hunger and to get a good source of collagen, which is good for the skin. I've noticed my skin improve immensely over the last few months, which brings me on to the next food I like to eat, which was blueberries. Um, so blueberries are great for your skin. I would go more into the technical details of why they are so good for your skin, but I don't have that info on me right now. So I'm going to do my own video on blueberries someday because, man, I love blueberries. So berries are the preferred choice for a ketogenic diet, moreover than citrus fruits or fruits with more fruit in them. Sorry, sugar in those fruits could be a little bit much on something like a mango or a pineapple or a watermelon. So I chose to go with the berry route if I wanted to finish off a meal. I'd have a half a pint of blueberries and maybe with some heavy whipping cream with zero sugar, and that helped me out a lot as well. In terms of protein, I would generally stick to lean meats like chicken. Mostly, I would try to find grass-fed meat and poultry products whenever I could. So I would do grass-fed beef. I didn't overdo it on beef, uh, but I would like to make, instead of a hamburger, I would like to make a lettuce wrap with a little bit of ground beef and all the toppings that I like tomato and pickle and all that kind of thing. I love to munch on pickles, very low on calories, very good for you, and at least they don't add on the calories way too much, which is great. And another great thing, kimchi. I live in a part of Toronto that has a lot of Korean restaurants, and grocery stores as well. So I would eat a lot of kimchi, maybe start off a meal by eating a little bit of kimchi, then moving on to a bone broth, and then after that maybe a salad, and then after that maybe a little bit of protein with a little more salad or something like that. I definitely did keep my carbs low while eating a meal. If I did have a bit of carbs, I made sure that it was very small on my plate. Like maybe it took up like 15% on my plate. And that would be something like wild rice, maybe a little bit of pasta or some orzo pasta when I had it, just to complement the meal a little bit. I also like to make a kale and blueberry smoothie, sometimes at work. That was a good thing to fuel up on. That was quick and easy to make. Very tasty with a little bit of blueberries in there just to take the bitterness out of the kale. Maybe add a little bit of honey and some other vegetables as well in there. I would often go to things like ginger to spice up my tea. I drank a lot of green tea every morning, actually. I would have a couple of cups of green tea, and then I would follow that later on in the day with a little bit of coffee, bulletproof style, with grass-fed butter and with MCT oil. And that's just something that you blend up with a little hand blender so it doesn't look like there's a little bit of greasy film on the top of your coffee. It mixes up quite nicely, like a latte. And the one thing I've noticed about grass-fed butter is the trick is getting the grass to eat the butter. But I joke. So around Christmas time, I would have my friend over to have a meal with me, and one thing I would make us was what I called a kimchi taco. So what I would do is just take a couple of pieces of seaweed, and then I put some peep and pop mix in it from my local Korea Mart, and that would be like a blended mix of cucumber, carrot, bean sprouts, and maybe a couple of other things in there that I can't remember. And it would usually come with a little bit of sauce on the side that we can spread on top of our kimchi taco. And that was a good appetizer before dinner, and that worked a lot too. I was also into eating a lot of pumpkin seeds and walnuts. Very good nutritional, high fat foods, at least the walnuts anyway. The pumpkin seeds might have a little bit more carb in them, but also a good source of magnesium. So you might want to check out pumpkin seeds and walnuts as a good snack if you ever want a snack during the day. I don't recommend snacking at night. Generally, what I would do is I would have an eating window between 5 and 7 o'clock at night. And after that, that's it. The furnace would go off and my metabolism would shut down until at least after 11 a.m. the next morning. So that gave me about 16 to 18 hours of fasting, which helped my body go into ketosis and would further help my body go into something called autophagy, which is something that I would like to touch upon in another video. I would also eat a lot of 85% dark chocolate. Now this is something that I would have to look on the label for to make sure that there wasn't a high amount of sugar in it. So usually I would not pick up dark chocolate if it had more than 2 grams of sugar per 3 squares. And what I would often do, I was not always perfect, but I would just eat 3 squares at the end of a meal to cap it off. And then I realized that that was kind of giving me a craving at the end of the night. So another option was to have a little bit of chocolate even between a course or before the meal. And then I would have something more traditional like avocados and eggs or a little bit of chicken and salad to cap off the meal, which wouldn't give me such cravings to get me through the night into the next day. Another dish I like to make a lot was that I would take some organically raised chicken and make it with a little bit of riced cauliflower. So that's just something where I would overcook the cauliflower a little bit, cut it into small pieces, and have it take on the consistency of rice. And often I would add a little bit of ginger with that, a little bit of soy sauce, not too much, um, and maybe something like some turmeric to flavor. And oh my gosh, that was delicious. I would also add some red pepper into that. If I went out for dinner, sometimes it would be a cheat day, but often I would like to just go for sushi. And when I went for sushi, I would opt for sashimi instead of sushi because it would be served without the rice. I got to work on my S's there a little bit. Sashimi, sashimi. Oh, hi there. The sun just came out. Good to see you, YouTube. Yeah, I love sushi, and I've been getting more of a craving for raw salmon and tuna since I changed my habits a bit. My diet has gotten better, and I tend to crave more things like that more often than I would, like, say, a bag of chips or whatever I was eating a year ago. And I really crave these healthy foods now, which is a great sign. And I think that if you just adapt your body to eating healthier, you find that your cravings change, and that's a good thing. And let's talk about pork rinds. Oh my gosh, those are really good. I was a big potato chip fan all my life to the point where I kind of resembled a big potato. I liked potato chips so much. So it was something that I really missed, was having that crunch. I like to crunch on things when I was snacking and that kind of thing. So pork rinds were the good choice because very low, if not totally void of carbohydrates, a good source of fat and salt, and that was something that would help cap off a meal, and would give me that satisfying crunch in my diet. So that's kind of the basic rundown of everything that I ate while I was dieting. I mean, there was definitely a few more things than that, but that that was the core stuff. I also like to cook with coconut oil, and I also like to eat a raw mixture of organic honey mixed with garlic, fresh garlic. And those two foods together pack a punch for as an antioxidant, um, and it helps clear up your skin and help with your gut bacteria and that kind of thing. So I hope this helps. I'll run down a list in the comments section below on everything that I talked about here, and maybe add a couple of other things that didn't come off during this. But I hope that you take to heart these food items and consider adding them to your diet, because I think they will help you immensely if you're in fact looking to lose some weight like I did. So good day, YouTube, and I'm going to sign out here and take a walk around this beautiful castle and enjoy the rest of the day. So have a good one. Ciao. Maybe someone will walk by and go, "Oh, yeah, avocados. That's a good idea. I'm going to have an avocado tonight." Anyway.